Welcome back to HomeSpot, everyone. I hope y'all are having an amazing day. I myself am having a good one so far. It's time for another project, shop project to be specific. Now, we're going to be making a boom arm. Now, boom arms in general can be used for a variety of different things. You can run airlines, you can run hosing, you can run electrical. In my situation and in my case, we're going to be running just a dust hose. Now, to be even more specific, it's going to be for my CNC machine. Now, the reason being is my current setup is not very good. I'll get a little bit more in detail on that, but essentially, it's already caused some damage. So we're going to take care of that. We're going to give it a permanent resolution moving forward. But aside from that, oh, the other thing I want to mention, it's going to be made from one single sheet of 2 foot by 4 foot sheet of plywood. Now I just cut one down. I 4 by 8, cut it down to 2 by 4. But if you wanted to go down to Home Depot or any other box store and just buy specifically a project panel, the 2 foot by 4 foot, you're welcome to do it and it'll come out solid. So I'm going to walk you through it. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we really get started, I do want to show y'all a little bit about my current dust collection setup. It's not very pretty. It sort of works, but that's what we're solving for today. It's a simple shop vacuum. The hose itself is held together by clamps onto the workbench, and if I'm being quite honest with you, by a lot of hopes and prayers, if I'm being transparent. However, jumping straight into the build now, it's things like this that are so mesmerizing. I can watch things like this all day. What isn't mesmerizing though is I literally just started this and there's already dust everywhere, but I'm going to go ahead and just run it through. I'll deal with the consequences of having to clean everything up a little bit later. And there's two other things that I want you to take a peek at here. Number one, how the hose is bending. It's just bending and flopping and can become very dangerous. The dust shoe itself is only held together by magnets, so those magnets can come undone at any given moment. The third thing that I want you to realize and look at is all the wiring. The wiring on the left, the wiring running to the CNC or to the router itself. We're also going to take care of this throughout this video. Once the CNC is finished cutting it out, I take it off the CNC and off to the workbench. This is where I do need to remove some tabs. The tabs are there to literally keep it in place because if I don't, as soon as I cut it out, it's going to start flinging the off cuts or the off pieces left and right. I can break a bit, or even worse, I can injure myself. So we made sure that every single item or every single piece had a tab to keep it nice and secure. They're pretty easy to cut out. Now, the tabs do leave a little bit of a dent in the wood, so I do need to sand them down. Not a big issue. I do thankfully have a nice sander that gets me through the majority of them, and we're off to the races. Now on to actually assembling all of the pieces together. Now, the one thing that I didn't account for in the design, and I did go back and fix it afterwards, is just pre-drilling some holes for the screws. That way none of the wood splits itself. It is, about an inch thick on the sides there, so it is very much prone to splitting, so we need to make sure that the holes are there. Before I assemble, I do sand out the edges a little bit. Just want to make sure I'm not getting any splinters or anything like that. I do a final sanding afterwards before paint. Now, the screws that I'm using are honestly just pocket hole screws for that matter. They're not necessarily meant for this application, but they will more than happily do the job perfectly fine. If I were being picky, I would switch the screws from the silver or the aluminum alloy to just a black finish. That's just cosmetic at this point, but again, they will do the job perfectly fine. Now on to painting itself. It's going to be the same moody green color that I've used in other projects before. Again, I just think that it looks nice. In total, I did about 3 coats per side, and I did do a total of 2 to 3 coats of clear coat after the green itself was done. Before I forget to mention, the other item that you do need to purchase, or if you already have one on hand, awesome, but it's going to be a 1-inch diameter dowel. I specifically went with a hardwood. I went with oak just because I thought it'd be a little bit more dense and would hold up longer through its lifespan. Now on to final assembly. Now, one thing that I will mention here, those first two screws that you see closest to the pivot point, they do need to be sunken in. When I did a dry run, I mounted it to the wall and I noticed that the screws, if they were popping out, they were hitting the wall mount itself. So not a problem, just sink them in a little bit and you are good to go. Moving on, I do want to just test it out, make sure everything works properly, nothing's getting snagged or anything like that, which so far seems to be running very well. I run it from the back to the front, left to right. One thing that I do want to point out is just how little friction there is on the boom arm itself. It's moving very easily. There's no weight on the dust boot, so then this new dust boot should be safe and sound moving forward. As far as the electric wires, I did buy some drag chains and took care of that, so everything is in its place where it should be and out of the way. And I think we can call this pretty much done. And just like that, everyone, Project Boom Arm is officially done and in the books. I believe everything that we set out to accomplish, we have accomplished successfully. The electrical is no longer a hazard. It's been routed properly thanks to the drag chains. So that is good to go. The boom arm, obviously, that was the whole point of the video. It is successfully up and running. No longer should I need to worry about dust collection. I did purchase a one-ida dust separator that's back there. I do need to find a permanent home for that. That'll come here in the next coming days or so. But aside from that, that is good to go. The last thing that I will leave y'all with is the digital file. If you want to make your own boom arm, I do have the file set up, ready to go on Etsy. I will link it down below. It's just going to be a couple dollars. I'm not looking to get rich out of it or anything like that. But good there. Aside from that, that's all I have for you guys, and I will catch y'all in next week's video.